Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
It's just being the Joneses.
Yeah.
It's April.
And boss.
And we are back with another episode on this good day.
Another episode.
This nice spring, winter, whatever you want to call it in Florida day. Because any day can be any one of them.
No, that's right.
in February.
hmm
So how you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Good, good, good.
How you doing?
And me too.
How you doing mentally?
Um, pretty good, pretty good.
All right. That's what I like to
Today was
hear.
a chill day, so I was just had to go to the chiropractor, so they put me on relax day, so I've been relaxing, and it's
Yep.
been good. So,
Good.
um, so today we talking about let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. So we talking about we talking about sex in marriage and um the big no when it comes to sex in marriage, right?
Mm, big no.
The big no
Withholding.
withholding.
Mm-hmm.
and
Let's talk about this.
when I say withholding, I'm talking about like as a means to control.
Yeah.
So that has really that thing right there has really um led to the destruction of many marriages. And because withholding with using the within the means of or the intention to use sex against your spouse in that way,
Mm-hmm.
or withholding again to use it as a power struggle type situation in a power struggle, can open up a lot of problems.
Yep. I've seen it happen firsthand. With people who I knew,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, a few people I knew, and also people who were like I heard about through friends of friends. So I knew somebody who knew somebody who and they were just going through the same type of situation where someone was withholding sex, just weaponizing it and making the other person miserable on
Mm-hmm.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and it didn't end well.
Yeah. Because it destroys trust. Um,
Or I can say,
it can interfere with the faithfulness of the relationship. Somebody being faithful, or somebody. Well, I feel like being faithful. It's kind of like, to me, if you faithful, I'm not gonna say you can't be faithful and then make a bad choice, because you could be a faithful person and then make a bad choice. But
mm-hmm,
loyalty and faithful, to me, it just go like a long way. Um, and because I look at it as, if you are really like, if you truly hardcore faithful, it's like, okay, we might be having this struggle. If we can't, we got to go through everything possible to be able to fix this situation,
yeah,
instead of saying, oh, withholding sex from me, so then you go out and use that as an excuse to have an affair.
yeah,
So I think if somebody is withholding sex, and mainly it'll be the woman that's withholding sex mainly.
that's
Like
all
you,
the situations I've heard. It's always been a woman.
but I feel like it's deeper problems. It's deeper things, if that's the case, if that's happening.
Mm, I could believe that. And I definitely don't know all the situations or the reasons why these few people who I knew in my life were withholding sex. I don't know. I just didn't. It's just something I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, but it didn't. And I shouldn't say it didn't end well because I don't know the end result of all of them. I just know that at that moment it wasn't going well. So let me
Okay.
say that
Yeah.
they could have got back easily, worked it out,
Well,
got
what's
back
some of the
together and
problems
all that
that you
stuff.
have seen happen in situations where somebody was where somebody was dealing with a wife that was withholding sex
Honestly, it was
as
so.
a weaponizing it.
Honestly, it was so long ago. That was back at my first base. So back in the early 2000s, when I knew of a couple who was doing it. Just this one that comes to mind when we think about this, and I just know that the guy I worked with the guy, and my first wife worked with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I knew of the situation because the woman was talking. And I didn't talk. I didn't say anything to him about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to get in nobody's business. Whatever. But I forgot exactly what was going on. But she was withholding, and it just didn't. It wasn't a good situation.
So you saying you don't remember, like, so let me rephrase the question then. What are some situations that you think can, complications and things in a relationship that you think can happen or that does, because we know it happens
Oh shoot.
when if a wife is withholding sex.
Frustrations for one,
Oh,
and I mean stress. Short fuse, short temper. All that's gonna come into place for some people. Not saying all of that, but just some examples. Um, Trust, because I'm thinking I know I would be thinking like, well, if you ain't, if you're not doing it to me, if you're not giving me something, then who are you giving it to? When I'm at work or while I'm going or whatever.
so but what if she's telling you the reason why she's withholding?
If she's telling
And
me the
what if
reason.
the reason she's withholding is because sometimes, like I said, it can be reasons. It doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because each individual situation, each situation can, whatever the root of a problem is, should be this, dealt with
Mm-hmm.
and worked out, or, however means that the couple use to work it out, whether it's therapy or they sit down and talk, or they sit and talk with their pastor, or whatever it is that they choose to do that's helpful to them. um I lost my train of thought right quick. Okay, so
So
I was saying whatever they choose to do to help the situation, it's got to be a core reason
yeah.
why it's happening. So if it could be, if it can be different situations for different people.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's used, let's say it's withdrawing because you're using it as a weapon, or in a power struggle for something. So then if the wife says the reason, well, I'm not gonna have sex. Well, okay, well, you know, then if you don't do this or you don't do that or whatever, then I'm just not, we're not going, you're not getting none.
Mm.
So you know what the reason is, right?
You know what the reason is at that point. She's being open about it.
Now, I'm not saying it makes it right for that to be the thing, because some men will be like, okay, bet. Well,
Because I was no problem. Yeah, you said, hey, you ain't said nothing. Shoot.
but in a situation where you're wanting to be faithful, let's talk about,
Yeah.
because of course we know that can lead to infidelity, and it can lead to, like you said, frustration, which can lead to other resentment and other different things,
Mm-hmm.
and and just keep going into things spiral out of control. But in a situation where you have two people that's committed to their relationship,
Yeah.
right, and they don't want to, no, they don't want to bring fall into that temptation, that infidelity, anything like that. So then there's the, do you, when you caught in the power struggle, sometimes it's hard to like be like, oh, okay, well, I'm she said I'm not gonna, she ain't gonna give me none unless I do this, so let me just go ahead and do it and then get something, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not that, depending on how the issues in the relationship, it's not always gonna work that easily,
All right.
because then of course you're gonna feel some kind of way because it's being withheld
Yeah.
as the guy.
Especially if it's something real deep that she's going through or whatever she's feeling that she feel like that's the way to do it right now or to get back at you or whatever the case may be. Like what if it's some kind of trust issue or something?
Well, that's
Or
different. I'm saying because I don't think that when you withdraw sex due to a trust issue, um, that you're really trying to weaponize it.
Mm. I think
But you
I
don't
think
agree?
I think sometimes it is weaponized. Yeah, because especially if she know that he wants it like on a regular.
But when I see weaponized, I use it as a you intentionally doing this out of spite versus I'm having a hard time giving you my body because I have trust issues with you.
Yeah, and that was just one example I gave. That's all, you know. But either way, I can see it still being weaponized.
How? So like if she's saying that I'm struggling, let's just say that there was infidelity. And she's saying I'm struggling with giving you my body. I'm struggling with the desire to even want to give you my body because of the trust that was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Then how is that weaponizing?
I don't.
You,
Well, I can't go too deep into
you
it
think if
because
she you
because at some point it'll be mansplaining, and I ain't gonna do that because I can't say what a woman or you know because a man can do the same thing. Like
no, I'm
if
saying why
he's,
it from your perspective as a man, you're taking it as she's using it as a weapon. So explain to me what that why you see that as weaponizing.
I'm just saying the possibility of weaponizing. I ain't saying like this all the time or you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying the possibility that she could because she might want it too, but then she like, well, I'm not gonna satisfy him because he did this, whatever it was.
Okay, because you thinking about satisfy. Like I said, you're thinking about satisfying her to withdrawing it because she don't want him to get the satisfaction.
Yeah,
I'm talking
I'm
about
talking about
her
that weaponizing.
withdrawing because of what she's dealing with internally, and she doesn't have the desire to.
Well, if the
So
desire not
she's
there, if the desire not there, then it's probably not so much weaponizing at that point. Like if she just can't do it, then
mhm.
then yeah, I take that back. It's probably not so much weaponizing because
And that's a hard situation because like even it doesn't even have to be infidelity. It can be other things that happen in the relationship that's damaging to the damaging to her that she just don't have the desire to do it.
yeah, yeah,
And so I feel like I know a lot of times men will get frustrated by stuff like that and feel like, well, just they may not understand that it's just do it. You know what I'm saying? They decide think just do it. You know
just
what I'm
do it.
saying?
Yeah,
But it's a difference when you're not connected on that level
yeah,
anymore or at that moment.
right.
So I mean, it becomes hard to just do it. You know what I mean? I mean, some people do it, but it's just like it's still, you know, hard to just do it. And so, he should probably be trying to get to the root of what, even if he know the reason, get into trying to be patient enough to work through
Mm-hmm.
whatever is happening,
Yeah.
because it can be something that happened in the relationship other than infidelity that can still cause that same turn off.
Yeah, because when I said trust, I think that's all I said was trust. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she lost trust in him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Could have been he's spending too much money, he's not paying bills like he say he is, you know, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case. You know,
Yeah.
he's drinking too much. He's going out when she asked him don't drink too much, but he's doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It could be in a you know any type of trust that she just say, okay, well if you keep doing this, I'm gonna withhold it.
Or not
You know,
being not giving the not because some men, I would say in some relationships, a struggle with some men and even women. But since I'm saying the women, if woman is withdrawing sex in a moment, I'm gonna say the man
yeah.
sometimes withdraws emotional intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not even be because he's mad or he's trying to do this or this is a power type thing or whatever, but it could be some other, whatever the reason is. And she might need that to be able to connect on that sexual intimacy level.
Yeah.
So then it becomes like, okay, I don't want to do it. But what make if you're in like a Christian marriage, what the Bible talks about husbands and wives both rendering sex to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about how your body belongs to, like, my body belong to you,
Mm-hmm.
your body belong to me,
All
your body don't belong to Monica, Susie, or
Who
none of
is
that.
Monica? It's our joke.
None of those things. But it belongs to me. And
Absolutely, yes.
sometimes people will be like, "Well, nobody don't belong to nobody." Yes, your body
Yeah.
belongs to me.
Goodness.
Okay, so therefore,
Okay.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it talks about how you don't, and this is like in Corinthians. So, First Corinthians,
Mm.
it talks about how you should not withhold sex from the other person, except if you discuss it. It's something happening, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like for instance, like the scriptures talks about fasting and prayer. So if somebody fasting and they need to abstain from sex while
Mm.
they're doing that, then you discuss it with your spouse, and then y'all, but don't do this for a long period of time.
Mm.
So even that, so that shows you right there when it tells you not to do this for a long period of
Yeah.
time, that you don't want that person to be without that particular desire fulfilled for so long, that how important sex is to the relationship.
Mm. So you're saying discuss it? Is the Bible saying discuss it together as a married couple and like, hey,
Right.
I need to fast. This going on
I'm gonna be fasting for 5 days,
5 days or 7 days, a whole
but
week
when
or
this fast
whatever.
over after that fifth day,
Boom,
I'm gonna get you right.
boom.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah.
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 So that show you how important it is to, you know
Mm-hmm. God know I got needs.
now it ain't no commandment, because he specifically says it, Paul was saying it. It's or whatever, but
Oh, it's a
it's
commandment.
no, but it's actually recommended, because because it's so sexually, I mean, because sex is so important to, you know the the
The marriage,
marriage.
yes. The marital relationship, yeah.
So
But it's
so
basically a commandment, though, if you think about
it's basically not.
it. It basically is. My interpretation.
Well, it just literally said, if that means your comprehension skills off, because it literally says it's not a commandment, it's being spoken by permission.
Go ahead, say that.
Uh,
First
Don't worry
Corinthians.
about it.
I'm gonna research that
So,
because what version are you reading?
King James, you could tell who don't really read their Bible, y'all.
Hey, I just need to look at it for myself.
But I mean, the withdrawing just to use it as a weapon because you're doing it out of spite is not good. Period. It causes problems. It leads to other things, destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And but to if there's an issue, the thing to do is to have the conversation. And I know sometimes there's a conversation had,
Yeah.
maybe somebody not listening
Hmm.
or whatever, but it's still not going to help.
Nope.
Now, if somebody has used withdrawing sex or weaponizing sex as a way to make their relationship happier, then let me know.
Make it happier.
Yeah, like if it worked for
Yeah.
them, and that person was actually faithful, happy, and loyal, but after you weaponized sex and withheld it and used it as a weapon in a power struggle, and they said, okay, I'm gonna do everything you said do or that you wanted done, or I'm going to hear you and hear you well now that you're using this, and that fixed all the problems, let me know, because I
Yeah.
would like to know.
I would like to know that too because I don't see it.
But no, because it just like I said, it just leads to destruction in different areas of your marriage.
Think
But
about what if somebody participating like No Nut November? Like the man say he
oh
gonna
my
do
God,
it.
here we go.
The man say he gonna do No Nut No Nut November.
You cannot do that unless your spouse
And then the spy,
agrees.
she's like, no, I don't believe in that. We need to continue on or whatever, like we normally do.
Okay, then you continue on. You don't participate.
Some people do.
Well, if you,
It happens.
please, when you don't know nobody personally as a man who actually participated in that, when they woman said no, they didn't want them to participate. Matter of fact,
I don't, but somebody did it somewhere.
that y'all
So,
made if some man somewhere made that up and don't even participate in it himself. That's just something that people just like to say,
yeah,
and nobody's participating in it. So except the celibate people,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they already
They're already doing it. So
yes.
yeah, they doing no nut for the year. So.
So um yeah, so basically it would be wise to like pray on it, pray together about it, talk about your even with when it's a situation where something happened.
Yeah,
So when I like I said, it's not always to me with joint sex, it's not always because you're weaponizing it or you want to control the other person
yeah,
with sex. But sometimes it's a bit deeper issue. So when if that's the case, then discuss your fears. I think it's important to discuss your fears with each other
yeah,
or discuss your fears with your partner. Um and to be heard, it's important for the person to be heard. It's important for both people to be heard.
yeah,
And um just pray, like if it's something you really want, because a lot of people just having the struggle and the issue and they really want it to be different.
yeah,
And um so with women, I know there could be also some things going on medically that could be decreasing the desire. So it may not be like, okay, I just want to withdraw sex from you just because I don't want you to have it.
mm-hmm.
But it's because I don't like it takes a lot for me to do it.
But communicate it, right?
But communicate
Yeah, let somebody know what's going on as soon as you think you know what's going on. That way, the guy not thinking.
and try to fit. If it's a fixable issue, you want to try to fix the
Yeah,
issue
yeah.
because it's important.
Because
And I
most,
think, go ahead.
no, I was about to say because I mean, if the woman communicates, hey, I got this, I'm at this age and I got this
It
issue
ain't always an
or whatever
age.
the. Well, I'm just saying an example. I'm just saying it's I got this medical issue or mental block
No, you
going
making it
on.
hit at old people.
Ain't
No, I'm
nobody
joking.
making because old people freak too. But I'm just saying some people.
I'm just playing,
But
but
I'm just saying
I'm just
I just threw that out there, air quotes, like age or mental, whatever block may be going on. I mean, most guys are gonna if she communicate that, then I think most guys who really care about their wife are gonna
mm-hmm,
understand that
mm-hmm.
and just try to just be there for her
Yeah,
and work with her,
yeah.
talk about it, put the phones away, turn the phones off if you have to, go in the room, talk about it or
Have
whatever.
a deep discussion
Yeah, yeah,
and think about what some ways that, like other things that can, that you can do to change that. Like if it's a desire issue, like what are some other things you can implement? Like maybe go to a sex therapist.
yeah.
Maybe try more intimacy in other areas that's in like emotional intimacy, mental intimacy, things like that,
All right.
and
Exercises like
see what can help.
yeah.
So but when it comes to like the weaponizing part, sus
You asking for it. Sure.
I, if you just want to use that as a way to be nasty, don't do it,
Mm,
because I feel like certain things that you do in a relationship shows if you are ready for a committed relationship or not, especially when it comes to a marriage.
yeah.
So if you are the type of person who would use sex as a weapon and to intentionally just get back at a person, then maybe you got some growing up to do before you decide that, you know, marriage is the thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's not something you
it's
want to
already gonna be so much stuff
do.
that comes at you that you can't control, that just is a part of life. So why create more issues that you don't have to create?
Yeah, that's right.
So
Something to
like
think about.
it if it I mean, it's no need to withdraw sets for a week because you didn't get the long stem roses that you wanted for Valentine's Day. Like okay, you for every
Yeah.
for every rose I didn't get in the dozen. That's how many days you ain't getting none.
Man, that'll be so foul.
But I mean, it will be. But it's people out here who
Somebody
do
doing it.
stuff like that over petty
Yeah,
things, and I
somebody
mean the
doing it.
petty things. No, we can't be doing that for petty reasons
That's right.
because
I
it
don't
doesn't
recommend
help
it.
your relationship. I don't recommend it. It's
Shoot.
highly unrecommended because you want to be able to like it's good to focus on the things that's gonna grow your relationship, and that's one of them that's not gonna grow your relationship. Seriously.
Right.
So no.
That ain't gonna make you stronger. I mean, because it's gonna cause nothing but problems. That's the way I see it.
Have you ever heard of a man withdrawing sex, weaponizing sex?
I was trying to think of that this whole
I
conversation, but I
I
don't
know
think
it
so.
happens.
Oh, it
It
happens,
happens.
but I don't know it personally.
Well, I mean, I ain't saying
Not that
person.
I
I'm
know
saying, have
of.
you ever heard of this a situation that way? But it does happen, yes. So,
If I did, I forgot. But it mostly be the women.
but yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for the most part.
I would say from based off what I know, my experience, it's mostly the women. From what I've heard, experienced,
Well, I
the women.
can clear. Yeah, that's definitely in most situations it is.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, fellas, don't be doing that either,
Mm-mm. Don't do that.
because
Don't withhold the wood. Hey, you remember that movie? And I was trying to think of this movie, but it's called Chirac.
I remember.
Interesting.
I don't remember seeing the movie or whatever happened in it, but I
Right.
remember the. Wait, did I watch that? I
I
think I
think
watched that. Didn't we watch that together?
I watched it when I was in Afghanistan. Um, but you remember what
C
it was about though?
CHI.
Shy, because of Chicago. It was called
Yeah, we
Chirac.
watched that together.
We did.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Maybe we
was
did
really
then.
good.
You remember what it was
Was
about?
that the woman? What's the
Tiana Paris.
she had the fro in the
Yeah.
movie?
Hmm.
Yep, I remember that. It was good, but
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of things that happened to. I just remember that it was a good
That
movie.
wasn't good to me. I
I
just
thought it
watched
was
it.
a good
I
movie.
just watched just for the heck of it because I knew what it was about. But do you know what it was about though? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember it was like some women group rights type thing, or women like it. She had a group of women.
All right.
So, like I said, I don't remember a lot of detail of it.
So the main premise is these women. Okay, so it's in Iraq. I'm sorry, Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and of course you know there's a lot of violence going on in Chicago. I guess it
Right.
was on like the west side
Mm-hmm.
or wherever the baddest areas at, south side of Chicago or whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of gang shootings and stuff going on, a lot of murders going on. So the women of the hood, they were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, let's withhold it. We're gonna
Okay.
withhold
Yeah.
sets until these men stop killing each other."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was the best example of weaponizing sex.
Well, that was weaponized sex, but that was for a good cause.
Yeah, that was a good cause.
Because it was like, we don't want to have sex with y'all while y'all going around killing people
Yeah,
like that.
that's right. Cause
So
y'all out
now
here
that goes back.
killing people's sons, killing people's fathers, killing people's brothers, or whoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good. Even though it was like it was actually based off a Shakespeare play, I think, and I think Spike Lee directed it. I think,
Well, yeah,
but
but they wasn't doing that
pretty
to
cool
their
though.
husbands, was they? It was just like the
Everybody,
men.
yeah, everybody. The women was
Okay, now I
withholding
think
from
I remember that.
everybody. Yeah, like nobody was getting
Okay,
it.
yeah. Because I remember some of the people was in relationships.
Yeah, and Nick Cannon was in
Was
there
the
with it.
husbands who was in the marriages killing people?
Well, I don't
Cause
think they were married. I think they were just like in a relationship. But
mm,
yeah, because like I forgot who Tiana Paris was with, but she basically told her dude like, "Hey, I'm you gonna stop all this gang banging and killing, or I'm gonna withhold sex. You ain't getting nothing." And so she got
well,
other women to come along with it,
mm-hmm.
and started that movement in their hood. And from what I remember, it worked.
Well, that was kind of, well, now there's a situation where it worked. So there you go.
Scripted, but I mean,
Yeah, there's a
that's
situation
the
where
only
it
way.
worked.
That's the only reason. The only way it's gonna work is scripted.
Well, not really, because remember, it was so many women doing it. So it was a collective
Yeah,
of women doing this.
yeah.
So the man couldn't be like,
They
oh,
couldn't
well,
go
I'm going to go
cheat.
over here and
They
get it,
couldn't go
because
cheat.
they weren't giving it up either.
That's
So
right.
that's what so bam,
Hey,
she power.
she power. It worked.
But that was good. That was I think that showed good unity for women though,
Yes.
in that sense.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah. That was the best thing about that movie, actually, in my opinion, because I didn't really care for the movie too much. Like, I might watch it again someday. I don't know. Who knows? But
I
yeah,
probably
that was
won't.
probably the best part of the movie. How the women united for a good cause for their community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's all about sitting down and having mature
And being
conversations with
open and
each other.
transparent.
Open and transparent.
Open and transparent. Yeah.
And being and the women do need to be heard, listened to, and stuff like that. Well, everybody do, but I mean, like if this is happening, it's like okay, obviously she's feeling like she ain't being heard somewhere.
Yeah.
So or whatnot. So.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So
So remember the 11th commandment, ladies.
what? It ain't no 11th commandment about
Oh
sex.
man.
There are more than 10 commandments. So, but
I think
technically,
the 11th is that.
no,
It's
it's
got to
not.
be.
No,
If you think about it, it's got to be. But we'll.
says the man. So, anyway, so you want to go on the 30-day fast?
From what?
From
I could do a 30-day
you
fast.
said you wanted to participate in No Nut November.
Ain't what I said. You ain't hear that from me.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work for me, brother. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Shoot. I don't want to go 3 days. About 30 days.
I told you somebody who not ever did, never planned to do that made that up, and it just unless a woman made it up.
Hey, who knows?
But anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So that is thank y'all for listening to our podcast, Just Being the Joneses.
Yay.
Tell your friends, tell your family to follow us. We could definitely be followed on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and whatever you're listening to us on.
Your favorite podcast platform.
Yes. So hit that like if there's a like button for well, depending on what you listen to us on. I think everything got like buttons or
Somehow
heart
like,
buttons now.
yeah. Heart it, like it, whatever.
Yeah. And
Just
then
hit something.
join us for our next podcast conversation in 2 Tuesdays from now. And we are
Gone.
out of here.